This is my own version of a DIY leash. There's a product out there you can check out. It's called the leash, and essentially what it's out there, or what it's made to do, is on like higher speed bass boats, whatnot, people were hitting stuff, the motor would come up. I think it was Mercury's were having a problem where either the mounts were shearing off or something in the bracket was shearing off. And what was happening is the motor was flipping up and around, and you got the spinning prop coming into the boat. Real disaster. So that's kind of what the product was made. People buy them for safety gear, essentially. But I wanted one. I found the leash because what I was thinking of doing is making some sort of a lanyard. So like one day I was going along, I had the jack plate all the way up, and I was just kind of sitting it, going through the waves on the river. I was just watching it flex. And you know, aluminum flexes, this is a super thick plate. I'm not thinking the on the fly is like made too fragile or anything like that. Just thought long term, what if something did give way? Then my motor's gonna fall off and it's gonna be at the bottom of the river. So I know some people on small boats, like inflatables, small rowboats, whatever, people will run basically just a lanyard, chunk of rope or cable bolted to the boat, to the motor. If your clamps fail, then you're not going to lose the motor. You're going to swamp it, but you cannot be a two-stroke. You can clear out in a matter of minutes. So I was thinking more on those terms, and that's when I came across this, and I was like, oh, well, that's cool. That would serve multiple purposes in my case. So it's 50-inch or 50-foot winch extension is what I used to make it. You can see here it's Dyneema. It's 10,000 pound rated. It's really cheap, actually. You can get Dyneema rope, very affordable, 50 foot for like 25 bucks. I did reuse the ends and spliced it myself. It's really easy to splice as well. You can look it up. You could do it with something as simple as a Sharpie, an old Sharpie that you just cut up. You can make a fid out of that. You don't even need one. It's much easier. I did buy a set of 3 fids. One of them fits the winch line for my truck, so just nice, and keep that one in the glove box. So for $6, I got it. You'll find it if you look up fids on Amazon. If I were to do this for a bigger motor, like if I was going to make this for a bass boat, I don't have a bass boat, but assuming I had a Mercury that had that problem and I wanted to make one, I would certainly be using a heavy duty Dyneema. I would go with like, I don't know, I forget what my winch rope is even rated. I think it's like 20,000 pounds, something like that. I would go with something along those lines. And make some sort of a bracket, maybe a little bit better than this. I just reused the ends. I forget what these are called, ferrules, something like that. I reused the ends from the winch, the rope that I bought, and just put them around a bolt here. And I basically just made a shoulder bolt here. So it's still holding my jack plate together. It's serving the purpose of this, but it's just screwed in right there. So that way this can move. As I raise the motor up and down, this can move. Dyneema floats, which is nice. It floats up and out of the way. And the main cool feature of this, aside from added safety, is, and the reason I decided to go with this versus just making a simple lanyard, was I use this like a limiter strap. And kind of an annoying thing I found as I've been using the boat with the jack plate up and whatnot, when I would hit a log or go over a log, even at slow speeds, sometimes what would happen is the motor would flip up, and then I'm running with the tip up lever up like this, and so the motor can free swing. But if it goes far enough up, the kickstand engages, and then your motor is just up. So I was finding as I'm cruising along, the motor is flipping up, kickstand engages, and then I would have to, take it out of gear, come back, drop the lever, rock the motor up, let it drop back down. And I went down this one creek a few days ago, and it happened like 5 times. So I was just like, this will solve that problem. So I just took my time, took a while actually to get the length correct with the splice. So I just sat here, tried, you know, moving it by hand, whatnot, and I've got it just the right length where it will come all the way up and it will clear flush with the bottom of the boat. So it will clear anything at speed, but at lower speeds, it will limit it and it won't allow a log to carry it all the way up to where the kickstand gauge is. So nice. It basically is just serving that purpose. The other nice feature is it's serving as a limiter strap for my low water pickup tube. Now I could have just made this a little bit longer, but I did want to keep it as short as possible for priming. And also, while priming, that whole tube is full of air, of course, so you have to move all that air through that tube, through your dry impeller. I think over time, if you have a really long pickup tube, it could eat through impellers. I don't know. I see some different designs out there, even like product where they had like a pickup tube like up all the way over, crossing over to this side through a filter and then down. And it's like, man, that's like 4 feet of tube that you have to move all that air through the impeller. But I don't know, maybe it works just fine. Maybe it's not an issue. But for this, this little thing, really easy to make, only costs about 25 bucks, and now I even have like 40 feet of Dyneema rope that I'm gonna put in the boat, and it will be used. Another cool feature of this that I've already used it for is a tow point. So it's a very, very strong central tow point, probably on the strongest part of the boat, and I used it for pulling a log out of the way of a creek. So just hooked up. I might put that clip in here. I was having fun with it. It moved a log, no problem. Big log. I had to cut like a 20-inch log out of the creek the other day. And I didn't want to cut it twice because I was doing it with a handsaw. So instead of that, I just lassoed it and ripped it out with the boat. It worked perfectly. So got my rope down here. Good enough. That was the first real test of this thing, and I know it's very strong now, so thought I would just share this. It's pretty simple. If you had a bass boat and you didn't want to spend 400 bucks, I'm sure you could make one for substantially cheaper than you can buy the product that's out there. You know, you're not getting a tested product or verified or lab tested, whatever criteria they are applying to their product. So you're assuming some risk by making it yourself, but I also know a lot of people don't even use these. So just thought I would share. Probably going to get some mixed reactions on this one from different people, but I'm not using mine necessarily for the intended purpose of that, so I'm not even concerned with it. Works perfectly so far, so that's it.